It's a lovely day out here and my heart desires that I go somewhere in there. And the only thing that can take me there is a 4x4. Somebody just heard my wish and granted it too. Hyundai. They launched the Santa Fe and that too with a 4x4. My lucky day. Not too many people go off-roading in their spanking new SUVs, but having a 4x4 does come in handy. What I have with me today is the brand new Hyundai Santa Fe, the latest to join the SUV segment here. And if this car could speak, she would tell you something, that I am all new. And if you believe the company people, then they will also say the same. They tell me that not even one part has been carried over from the old one. And that might as well be true. Because she looks new, the interiors are completely new, the exteriors have a new design change, and the only thing that's getting carried over is what lies under the bonnet, the 2.2-liter CRDI engine. The Santa Fe is actually new with a new body shape which includes a new set of HID headlamps with LED daylight running lights and a new fog lamp cluster. Front skid plates and the rear two sports skid plates with a tail light cluster with LED lights. And the twin chrome exhaust tips are now on one side of the car. Overall, the Santa Fe exudes style and the air of a car which is well made. In terms of dimensions, you'll be hard put to spot the difference, but the fact is that the length has gone up by 30 mm and there is a wee bit of a change in the width. Other than that, it's identical, even the wheelbase and the track remain the same. Hyundai had launched the Santa Fe in India in November 2010 as a 7-seater SUV, which would bridge the gap between a luxury SUV with an exorbitant price tag and a mini 5-seater SUV which had brand appeal, but were relatively small and cramped as compared to the Santa Fe. The positioning was right and initially the Santa Fe did evoke good customer response, but the car was imported as a CBU at that time with limitations on quick delivery. The long delivery time somewhat dampened the enthusiasm, and eventually it faded out of the customer's mind. But now with a new and refreshed Santa Fe, the company would certainly hope to revive both demand and enthusiasm for the product. This new Santa Fe is powered by a relatively small 2.2-liter common rail diesel unit. But I would say don't go by the size of the unit, because this engine punches out about 197 brake horsepower, which is quite adequate for most driving situations. The low end is quite torquey and the mid-range is punchy, and you don't feel any turbo lag, which makes it quite a fun to drive on the highways. The only thing I wish is that the engine were a little quieter, because the moment you step on the gas, you can hear the decibel levels going up under the bonnet, but the insulation is quite good, so none of it is really intrusive. According to ARI figures, the Santa Fe returns a decent fuel average of 14.7 kilometers to a liter for the manual transmission and 13 kilometers for the automatic. And incidentally, it is the auto transmission which churns out a higher torque of 436 Newton meters as well, making it quite drivable. The Santa Fe is pretty much loaded with whatever you might need in a premium SUV. But my only complaint is that I wish the Hyundai guys had paid more attention to the drivability of the car and specifically the steering wheel. The steering wheel feels like bread left in water all night. It's soggy, it's lumpy and without any feel. Hyundai has provided a button here on the steering wheel to increase or reduce the steering effort. And I have put it on the sport mode. But around fast corners, it still gives me no feedback. Honestly, I feel that the steering has no wits around it, and you really have to flog it hard to get it to action. Where the Santa Fe can do with a definite improvement is in this area. We had expected a much sharper steering as well as the brakes, but both remain below expectations, and this is what robs the car of its driving dynamic. The suspension too has been worked on in this new Santa Fe, and the results are quite obvious. Both the ride quality and the handling has improved. And what I like the most is that there is no pronounced body roll. And I can't say the same about some of the competition cars where you feel you have been tossed into a boat on choppy waters. As we see it, the Santa Fe still remains a car where one would love to be driven in. But when it comes to taking a position behind the wheels, it loses out, in spite of the fact that it gives out both more power as well as torque than its main competitor and segment leader, the Toyota Fortuner. Because it's still not a sharp handler. The limp steering wheel and spongy brakes are its Achilles feet. And that's a pity, because otherwise the Santa Fe has most of what it takes to make a car fun to drive. However, in terms of driver aids, it comes with a range of features. Features like advanced traction cornering control, which will prevent the car from losing its grip even on fast cornering. And it is equipped with 6 airbags. Things inside the interiors too have changed, and I must say changed for the better. The dual tone fascia here looks quite good, and the quality of switchgear and the plastics too have improved. And then there are additional features like touchscreen for the audio controls. The steering is nice and chunky with a set of multifunction buttons here, which makes it quite easy to call up for the information here. The instrumentation is large dial, easy to read, and with chrome surrounds, which make it quite attractive. Overall, these interiors have become quite a nice place to spend time in. The Santa Fe, in true Hyundai tradition, is loaded to boot. If you are expecting bells and whistles, then you won't be disappointed. And in terms of design, it is pleasing too, with carryovers from Hyundai's fluidic sculpture design philosophy, which endows the interiors with a flowing design, and in terms of build quality too, there have been major improvements. The rear seat of the new Santa Fe is quite spacious, lots of legroom, lots of headroom, rear AC vents, and then there are nice add-ons like this window curtain here. Actually, this is a 7-seater with 3 rows of seat here, 2 in the back. But what you can do if you're traveling less than 7 is to flip down this seat and turn the seat into a captain seat and travel in style. But the spaciousness of the vehicle ends beyond the second row of seats. The third row offers hardly any leg space and is best left folded down, in which case it offers plenty of cargo space. Like all product upgrades and next generation products, this Santa Fe here too has become a better Santa Fe. It has all the bells and whistles, all the features that you might need in a car this size and at this price. On top of it, it comes with a 4-wheel drive, it has automatic transmission, and it is a 7-seater. All this is a very potent combination. Essentially, the Santa Fe still, in my opinion, remains a passenger's car, by which I mean you will enjoy the car more from the rear seat rather than from behind the wheel. If the Santa Fe had offered a more dynamic and a crisper drive, then I think it could have offered a package which would have been very hard to beat. But as things stand now, I think the competition would certainly have an edge. More so as the prices too have gone up. Where the Santa Fe might lose out the most is in its pricing, which has substantially increased over the outgoing model, giving the edge to its competition. Starting at close to rupees 26 lakhs, it isn't cheap anymore. But the good part is that now even the 2-wheel drive variant comes with an automatic transmission, and this should increase its appeal.